A very good morning to all the viewers. Hope you have started Sunday morning with a beautiful smile and warmth in your heart. I, Sweetie Jen, would heartily welcome you to a live session organized by Mind Mirror Paradigm, which has started an initiative towards mental health aid and awareness. Mental health has become a burning topic during this pandemic, and many people have started seeking professional help because of the awareness coming out of the age old taboo which was attached to this. But to be very frank, mental health itself is a vast area, and one need to know when, how, and whom to approach and seek professional help. So, viewers, when we talk about mental health, immediately what strikes our mind are some psychological issues such as depression or anxiety. But then mental health has far more to look at from a broader perspective. To every problem, there is a solution, and therapy is one of the solutions to those psychological issues. So today, we will be discussing and we'll learn about what exactly therapy is, and also we'll peek into one aspect of therapy, which we call as solution-based therapy. So our guest of honor for today's session is Mrs. Hina Beg, who is a practicing solution therapist and a strength based counselor based in Mumbai. She has been in the field of mental health for more than 10 years. She practices face to face as well as telephonic counseling, catering to all age groups. Now, recently, she has started with her own podcast to create awareness about mental health and coping skills, named Just Talk Therapy. So, welcome, Mr. Baig. I heartily welcome you.
Good morning, first of all, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And I must congratulate you for your effort, in adding on to the awareness part by your initiative, Mind Mirror Paradigm. It's wonderful, and every effort counts. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I just hope that I'm just thankful that you have taken a time out on Sunday morning at 11. And with all the commitments, you are sparing some time for us. So I'm really, really grateful to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much once again. And it is a very good, initiative again, I would say, that you have taken on. And especially on Sundays with a cup of coffee at brunch time, what else one can ask for?
Sure. Thank you. So before starting, as our topic for today is therapy. So my first question, which it comes in my mind is, like we say that yes, mental health is a need of an hour. But why so? Why do we feel that yes, mental health is so important now at present, or was it important in the past as well? And somewhere we overlook that. So, what is your opinion on this?
Okay, as we all are aware, and you have rightly also shared that during the pandemic, this actually surged up the importance and the need of it. When we look closely at only the word mental health, right? So, dividing it, what is health actually? It's only the wellness, like of the body, mind, and soul, that is free from any form of illness. Then only we say you are at good health or you're sailing good. But when we attach the word mental, it's related to mind. Like we say physical health, emotional health. So likewise, we have mental health. Now, it's like, when we talk about mental health, it's related to your mind, your thought process, your emotions attached to it, your behavior linked with it, and then the reaction part. So it's a chain reaction that happens, and it happens in subtle way also. So mental health again, due to the constraint of the lockdown, everyone having their less space to explore and vent out their own energies, their own, emotional baggage that they have because of the pressure, the unseen things that's happening, and the loss and the media played a major role in creating that fear psychosis.
Exactly, exactly.
So mental health again came into, like, it rose up and the importance was there. Earlier when you had said, was it present? So yes, it was present, but then that was the beauty of the joint family. If you recall, and our own childhood, right? The cousins, like, if one of them got, so it was very normal to even get a scolding. The went out was there amongst ourselves, so it was okay. We never took it as heart and all. But now that is the core of the nuclear family. There is very less of inclusion of other family members, like extended family. So that
Definitely.
adds on burden to the parents also, to the child also, and they don't see the correct way of channelizing their own emotions.
Right. Even what I feel is like, mental health and physical health are like two sides of a coin. If like they are quite interrelated, they cannot go like independently. Like, we cannot say that if you are not taking care of mental health, you will be physically healthy. It's not possible
So,
because our brain is a powerhouse. So it need
right.
to be in a sane position. It need to be in a proper position. Then only we will be able to take care of our physical part, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because see, again, in a simple example, how they correlate when we
Hmm.
talk about the types of therapies also, right?
Hmm.
There is this cognitive therapy, there is this behavior therapy. Then coming to CBT, that's cognitive behavior therapy, including both the ends, besides others. When we are thinking something, so we are feeling something inside, we are angry, so we are going to react, we are going to say something, feel guilty again, end up overeating just to, because we are angry. And as you say, yes, they are both sides of the coin and they are very close to each other.
Exactly, exactly. So as you mentioned about therapy, and you have also mentioned about the cognitive therapy, cognitive behavior therapy. So when we talk about therapy, so what exactly do we understand by this? What exactly therapy means, if we define in a simple language?
Okay, therapy is like a very broad term. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
general term, like an umbrella. So under that umbrella, you find various type of therapies. Like music therapy is also there. There is dance therapy. There is aromatherapy. Likewise, there is psychotherapy, which is also known as talk therapy. So when I categorically speak about the therapy, it's only a process which helps you to facilitate and channelize again the energies that you have in a constructive way so that you
Mm-hmm.
can move ahead in life and you can bounce back in life. So it's a simple term, it's a process, it takes time. And like when we are sick, right, the doctor prescribes certain medicines. So we take antibiotics. Sometimes it is, you see the results in 5 days. Sometimes the doctor says to take it for a more days, like repeat the course. Likewise, in therapy, when you are stuck up in certain situations, you find your daily chores to be getting affected. Your work is getting affected. You are feeling more slow in life and you cannot focus. Your eating habits, sleeping habits, all those daily chores are getting really, really disturbed and disrupted. So that is the time actually this therapy is going to work. This process of external inclusion wherein you are not judged. You are in a safe space to share whatever you are feeling and then find solutions for your own self. So that is
Okay.
therapy, like, wherein you can just go have a support system, you have a rapport with a therapist and
Mm-hmm.
move forward in life. It absolutely does not mean that you are dependent on it. Because
Okay.
that is a myth.
So, as you are saying about the support system, is therapy means you are getting a support system so that you're getting a shoulder to
Right.
rest upon that. Yes, I have some emotions and I am taking it out. I have someone to listen because we human beings we have that need to be heard. So,
Right.
therapist acts for that. Yes, he is listening or she is listening to you, right?
Mhm.
Now, when we talk about this, the support system, then we talk about the counseling part as well. Because in counseling also, there somewhere or the other we also act and play a role of a listener, an active listener,
Right.
right? So how can we differentiate between a counselor and a therapist? In what way?
It's actually again very close. You know, the main issue, the main difference, let's say, between the counselor and a psychotherapist or a therapist will be counselor addresses specific issues. It's momentary, and a
Okay.
therapist goes deeper down and dive into the past also, so as to resolve the whatever the disruptive point or wherever the stuck-up points are there for that person.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back also. Like you have counselors in school, but you will not be having therapists in school.
Hmm.
The
Okay.
counselor, like, in classrooms, if there is a disruptive behavior, like the child is not able to focus,
Mm-hmm.
so the child is sent to the counselor. The counselor addresses those issues. It could
Mm-hmm.
be stress, it could be home related issues,
Mm-hmm.
family issues, but
Mm-hmm.
the concept is to target those issues to
Mm-hmm.
make the child in sync with the curriculum and that particular age like. So it
Okay.
gets resolved, the child grows, moves ahead. So counselor
Mm-hmm.
is like, it deals with the secondary layer. The
Mm-hmm.
therapist deals with the primary layer, the
Okay.
foundation.
Okay, so when we talk about this therapy, and when we talk about that, yes, people need to approach a therapist for a longer term, when you are dealing with a long time, psychological issues for a longer term, and you need approach a therapist so that they can go for a root cause and they can help you to cope with it, right? Whereas the counselor is going for a short term,
Hmm.
right, not for the root one. So there are lots of people who ask us that, how many sessions are required, ma'am, how many sessions will be done, or how many sessions you will conduct with me so that I will be over with my problems, I will be
Hmm.
able to cope up, maybe 2 sessions or 3 sessions, please tell me that. So is it possible to weigh, or is it possible to predict that, yes, within 10 sessions or within 5 sessions, within 6 sessions, you will be all okay? So is it possible for that?
This is a very tricky question also, and a very good question that you have asked, because it will be like, a make or break situation for the client.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know as to how quickly they can overcome probably the process itself. So it's very difficult actually to pinpoint in numbers, but in my
Mm-hmm.
suggestion and views,
Mm-hmm.
minimum 3 sessions a person should take to see the difference. Because you know what happens when the client comes, they share their issues or whatever is happening between the client and therapist, or
Mm-hmm.
the client and the counselor.
Mm-hmm.
The process starts, right? The initial stages start. So
Mm-hmm.
in the first session, it's only the icebreaker round wherein the client and therapist rapport is being built up. Then it is in the second session, actually the client comes back and shares as to what they had done. Because in the first session, it is very important to lay down what is expected by the client, or the client would like to know what is therapy all about. And it is very important for the client to understand that if they want answers in numbers, like 3 sessions or 5 sessions or 7 or 10, whatever, they should be ready to give in to that process completely. They should trust the process. They should not leave after one session. Okay, there nothing happened in one session. I just feel the same. And of course, you will feel the same. It's not that, suddenly a magic thing will happen. This is a human being interacting with themselves. So it will take time. And some key things the client should remember, like even when coming for counseling, they should be honest with the therapist. By being honest, I mean if there is any medical history, they should share that with the therapist. They should not hide their feelings. That sometimes, okay, if even if they're not feeling good, they will try to what will my therapist say, because that's what they have grown up with. That's what they have experienced in life. If they say something out of, that moment, they may be judged. So they should understand this is a non-judgmental space. They are free to share whatever they want to share. And again, this is very important for the number part. If they are honest, if they share their feelings, in a very true way, the way they are as as a person, without hiding behind the feeling part, they should make a commitment for the therapy. They should come on time. Whatever homework is given, that should be done between the session. They may not realize how it is going to affect or what is the use of the homework. But again, trusting the process, they will come to see the change or a shift in their own self. It is very important. These are the key. If they are doing this after 2, 3 sessions, then the shift is seen, and even the therapist and they themselves will be sharing that part, that they are not in that space again. So the number can be shared by the therapist. It again depends upon the severity of the case. It can take long if they are on medication part, definitely. And if at all they are taking medicine, and if they are taking therapy, and if they start feeling good about it, okay, now I can manage. They should not stop medicine. It should be done only by consultation and not on their
Um,
own.
One question is striking. I would like to
Yeah.
ask that, like for a people who don't understand the term psychology, because there are a lot of people who are not from this background, and
Yeah.
still this subject is like is emerging. It's not into completely full bloom. What I feel as a psychologist myself. So
Mhm.
if I talk and approach a layman, right now, if we talk about that, yes, you need to approach a therapist or you need to seek professional help if you're having disorder. But if I say disorder, then people will think that yes, some problem is there with me. Am I insane or am I not in my sanity? So they will start questioning themselves. And of a person who is already into the question ki, who am I, myself
Right.
is into question, my existence is into question, I'm completely filled with guilt, right? I don't know who am I. So how to convince the person or how to explain the person or psychoeducate the person that yes, even if you are not having disorder, only you are having stress. Because we sometimes say that yes, in layman term we talk depression just like that, in just in a colloquial language, you are depressed, I'm having depression, but I might not have, might be my mood is in a state of I'm very sad, that's it, and that is very temporary, but then I tend to label as depression. So when and how to convince people or how to psychoeducate them that yes, even if you are sad or even if you are in the stress, a lot of stress is there, especially during COVID we have seen that. So you need to approach a therapist. In this, what would you suggest?
See, that's again a very valid point looking at the dynamics of India itself and elsewhere also.
Mhm.
Uh, Labeling starts just at the tip of the finger, and self-labeling and by others around. So, in my understanding, it's when you find that you have tried ways to cope up your own difficulties in your
Mhm.
own way. By
Mhm.
Googling up, you find, you listen to your friends, you try to implement it on your own, and you have been trying that.
Mhm.
But again, you are still feeling the same. So there is a temporary relief because of the enthusiasm part, but you fall back again. So if the loop is happening and you find yourself again, for example, if there is any memory and there is an experience which is like nagging you or haunting you, or
Mhm.
if you are like you are not able to cope up with the criticism,
Mhm.
right? Or if somebody says something to you and you are not able to focus. So these are very normal thing also. People do it. but you are not able to cope up. So you will first try to Google up, you'll try to find, you will try to implement it in your own life. You will succeed, and that is good. The best part is at least you're trying, and that is a very good starting point. Now, if you have to explain to someone and you find them in that group and they're again feeling sad about something, if they are feeling stressed out, if they're having their behavior is changing, they are getting angry, or if their coping mechanism is not healthy, like they start smoking a lot, or eating too much, or they're going on very strict diet part. So these are clues for a person to identify if this is the time wherein a little help from somebody else can actually bring you back.
Right.
So if you find that behavior change happening, then that person can go to their general physician, go and consult them. The physician will have, all the tests done and all to find out if there is clinical anything wrong or not. If they get the green signal, then the physician will divert them to another any therapist and all in the area. So that is how they can approach. They can identify by themselves, or if a family member is having, the coping mechanism not healthy, so they can take to the general physician and have a general checkup done, because it is not that a person is, labeled as mad or insane. It's just that so that moment is a little tough. It's overwhelming. So a little hand of embracing hand or just holding it and taking that across that, let's say, a puddle of overwhelming situation, and that is it. Life moves on.
As you said, that is just like a helping hand. What I
Mhm.
also believe personally is, you are in a cave, completely dark. So a therapist or a counselor will just help you. They are not going to walk in front of you, they are not going to push you from behind, they are going to walk beside you and will show you
True.
the light,
Mhm.
so you can come out of that darkness,
Right.
right? So, and also
Or
what I yeah.
I would also add, or be comfortable with the darkness and be the
Yes.
light yourself.
Yes, yes. So that you can illuminate the darkness and get rid of that. Very good. Excellent. Excellent.
Mhm.
Even what I feel is now, when you were talking about that people in distress and stress, how they can find a help of support or hand of support. So you feel like, we help in making learn how to be resilient, how to
Mhm.
bounce back, right?
True.
We because life is not a bed of roses.
Absolutely.
Everyone have some problems. Someone has less severity, someone has more severity, but
True.
then we need to find a solution to the problem rather than sticking on the problem,
Right.
isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes. So when we're talking about the solution, as solution therapy is your forte, I would
Mm.
like you to put some light on that, that what exactly solution based therapy is and how is it different from the other therapies.
Okay. See, this therapy was developed by a couple, and it was developed long back when they realized that other therapies were more focused on the problem part. Like, what is the problem in our own daily life? When we have a get together and something goes wrong, we spend more time in discussing the problem. And certainly, then after exhausting all our energy, we'll come to the solution. Acha, now we'll do this. Similarly, when at that time Steve DeShazer and Kim Insu, they both, came up with this idea wherein they would like to work on the solution part. They are going to facilitate the client with more solution, the strength based. It's a hope based therapy, and I actually connect with it because I'm more solution oriented, and I feel every individual has all the traits to work on themselves. They are very strong within. It's just that, again, as you said, to show the light part. So this solution therapy is going to show them the light path and lit their path wherein they can walk with themselves. The difference is like, again, as a counselor and psychotherapist, so counselor is short-lived, focusing on only issues, particular issues, like you have marriage counselor. So they are going to only deal with in that scenario. Likewise, counselor is this. The therapist is going to cater to the past and come back to the present. The solution therapist takes from here to the future. So it's like I work in a pendulum effect. It's like, going here and there. But the moment is very important. How you are going to focus on what you can do rather than investing of your energy in what you were not able to do. So
Yes.
that is the main concept.
That means what I feel, what I have understood from your point of view is everyone has survival instinct, right?
Absolutely.
So some
Absolutely.
may have suppressed that and some may are still fighting. So those who have suppressed solution therapy might help them to identify the survival instinct so that they can start coping well, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's short term. Like it's
Okay.
maximum 7 to 8 sessions will take a person
Mm-hmm.
bounce back because in this fast paced world you
Mm-hmm.
can't it is cost effective also
Mm-hmm.
and you can actually go back to your life having the future in vision. It's goal oriented. It's absolutely personalized with every client because of their own traits and their own personality. So every individual will deal with it differently. The thing that I do, and it is common also, that when they
Mm-hmm.
come, they know as to what they want out of therapy. What are the areas I would like to work on? So it's specific, goal oriented, and you have solutions for it. So it's
So
like
is
what
it?
was, yeah, sorry,
It's okay.
you were saying
Uh,
something.
so is it can you please tell me that can we apply this therapy on children? Is it applicable for children as well, or there is a particular age groups that we can start applying for?
The best part is it's for all the age groups and easily workable. It's doable
Okay.
because again the strengths are identified in the individual and we
Mhm.
work on the strength part. I
So,
especially work on the strength.
so is it different from CBT when we talk about the cognitive behavior therapy and we talk about the cognition and the behavior modification there? So is it how is it different from CBT and REBT? How can we differentiate in that, and in what way it is applicable?
See, in cognitive behavior therapy, again, it's like cognitive word means thought, behavior means how you are behaving.
Exactly.
So in that, there is a connection between the changes are done in the thought and then it comes down to the behavior part, right? So it's in sync with all those things. And in solution focused therapy, it's about the person's strength. And rather than diving in all those nuances, it's like how the person is going to approach, how
Mm-hmm.
they have approached in the past. What was it like? Okay, if I was feeling angry,
Mm-hmm.
how was it that they could overcome it? So that positive element which goes sideline rather than they were angry, so
Mm-hmm.
split second that is brought into focus. It's more elaborated and discussed about. In cognitive behavior therapy, it can be long term also. It is usually long term. Like it will not be short term. So it can take months also, it can take a year also to bounce back. This is short term, effective, and very safe.
Okay. So just one last question for this is a person with having a severity of disorder, right? So is it applicable for them or is it only applicable for people who are having mild problems?
See, for severe problems, firstly, the psychiatrist has to be consulted who
Hmm.
gives medication.
Hmm.
And with
Hmm.
that medication, the support psychotherapy can work because both works hand to hand for those individuals. Because without medication, again, it will not be helpful for the client. Especially that is why I said the first top thing from the client side is not to hide anything. That is very important.
Exactly. Because the
Even
thing is
as
like
yeah, even
the
as
trans.
I'll just add on to this. Why not to hide also? For example, if the homework is given, right, to
Mhm.
the client, and if a homework is given, if they're feeling, if they have low moments, and like a therapist, or if I can say, okay, in those moments, you have to just keep a dark chocolate in your mouth. You don't have to eat. So that would be a homework for me. Like I can give. And those, if my clients are listening, they will be having a smile. They love this kind of homework. Anyways, coming to a point, if the client has, hidden the fact that they are diabetic, so this homework will add on to the problem.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that is why that should not be there. So medicines are important if the case is like chronic or the severity has increased. Along with that, therapy will work. So both
It's
work.
like it's just like you're having a short term relationship with a therapist, and a client and a therapist have a short term relationship, and in a relationship you need to be very transparent. You cannot hide things. The communication
That's
need to
true.
be at par.
Yeah,
So it's
very,
just like
very
that.
true. Yeah.
Yes.
The
So
skills, communication has to be very easygoing. That depends upon
exactly.
the therapist.
Exactly so. So we would like to come up for the last session. Last part of the session is what is your anything what you want to say to our viewers, any like message you want to put across the viewers, like about mental health or this therapy or anything.
Firstly, please share this video, make spread the awareness part, and connect with ma'am if you need any suggestions or counseling. Secondly, I would like to say that if you feel stagnated in your life, and if you feel that, okay, and you are internalizing or having an internal dialogue with yourself again and again, if any thought is, replaying in your mind and inside, please consult. Therapy does not mean that you need to be dependent on it. Even on medication part, it does not mean for lifelong you have to take medicine. As soon as you start bouncing back, the doctors will reduce your medicine, bring it to the minimum, and then wean you off. Likewise, in therapy, you will bounce back beautifully and you will find your own niche. So don't think that, okay, I'll be labeled. It's like the onus lies on you. What do you want? Where do you see yourself in the future? Are you happy with the situation you are right now? That is very important. Because these questions, if you will get the answers for yourself, either you will take the sessions, 2, 3 sessions, 3 sessions minimum, and then go ahead in life. After a year or so, like we have flu and all, we can go in for antibiotic course again. If there is a new situation, you feel overwhelmed by that situation, take 1 or 2 sessions, go back in your life. It's very easy to do, and we all as individuals should not label anyone if we find they are taking therapy. We should accept it gracefully. That is
Exactly
very
so.
important.
Exactly so. That means, therapy really helps us to cope, become resilient. And one more thing, what I feel therapy helps you to become more empathetic towards yourself. Because,
Absolutely.
we learn about being empathetic towards others, but somewhere down the line in this process, we forget our importance and our existence. I
True.
feel so, right? So that
Absolutely, yes.
self-compassionate, taking care of yourself, embracing your flaws and beauty and everything, whatever you are, that is very, very important, isn't it?
So in my way, it's like respecting yourself in your own space.
Exactly. And even, like this September is known as the self-care month. So I would like to request all the viewers, please do take care of yourself. Please give importance to yourself. You are as important as others. So,
Hmm.
thank you so much, Mrs. Baig, for all your valuable time. And I'm really, really very thankful that you have given such a good information and very solid information for all the viewers. And I really hope that everyone will be benefited from it. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much, and I do hope it is beneficial and your efforts are, again commendable. And keep doing. And what you have said, self care starts from within and by one's own self. Then only you'll be able to happily help others. So that is
Right.
crucial.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for this lovely conversation and very important questions you have asked. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Now, viewers, healing takes time and asking for help is a courageous step. So, a therapist helps you to address emotions in a right perspective, which is very, very important. So, today we are going to wrap up a session with the music. I really hope that you all have enjoyed, and please do share and follow us for more updates on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you so much for watching us. We will be back soon with a bang. Till then, take care and love yourself. So, I'm going to end the session with the music. I hope you're going to enjoy with your Sunday's brunch.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Hope you enjoyed the
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability. You are capable of anything. You can achieve any dream. Please don't limit yourself. Don't live your life limited. It's not all sadness and misery. Life's a challenge, but you will succeed. Take control of how you feel in every circumstance. Work on yourself daily. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve, you must believe. You can live out all your dreams. Persevere, you'll make it through. What you need is all in you. When you believe, you will achieve. You can live out all your dreams. It's about time you knew the truth. You got the power all in you. Whoa, whoa, You have to believe in yourself. You don't have to hide anything. You can be your true self. Don't need to follow society. Never forget that you're blessed. Give thanks for everything. Even the hard times will turn out to be blessings. No matter how you feel, you can learn from your pain. It's there to make you great. Your story's far from done. The best is yet to come. To achieve